Beneath the crushing pressure and the profound darkness of our planet's oceans lie secrets that whisper tales of bygone eras, of magnificent cities and forgotten peoples swallowed by the waves. What if the greatest civilizations in human history lie not in dusty ruins, but beneath miles of ocean water? For centuries, humanity has been captivated by the legend of Atlantis, a sophisticated island nation that vanished into the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. This enduring tale, first chronicled by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato around 360 BC, has ignited the imaginations of explorers, historians, and dreamers alike. But is Atlantis merely a myth, a philosophical allegory, or a fragmented memory of a real historical catastrophe? Join us as we journey into the deep, seeking the truth behind the legends and exploring the tangible remnants of worlds lost to the abyss. Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, provide the only primary source for the story of Atlantis. He describes it as a formidable naval power located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the Strait of Gibraltar, that had conquered parts of Western Europe and Africa some 9,000 years before his time. The Atlanteans, he wrote, were a noble and powerful race, descended from Poseidon, the god of the sea. Their capital city was a marvel of engineering, a series of concentric rings of land and water, adorned with temples clad in precious metals and boasting advanced technologies. However, their hubris and moral decay angered the gods, leading to a cataclysmic event of violent earthquakes and floods that caused the island to be swallowed by the sea, disappearing forever. For centuries, scholars have debated Plato's intent. Was he crafting a cautionary tale about the dangers of imperial ambition and moral corruption, using a fictional civilization to make a philosophical point? Or was he recording a genuine historical event, passed down through generations, perhaps from Egyptian priests to the Athenian statesman Solon, and then to Plato himself? The lack of any other contemporary accounts has led many to dismiss it as pure allegory. Despite the skepticism, the allure of finding a real Atlantis has spurred countless expeditions and generated numerous theories about its possible location. Modern interpretations have placed the lost city everywhere from the Caribbean to Antarctica. One of the most compelling and scientifically plausible theories links the Atlantis myth to the massive volcanic eruption of Thera, now the island of Santorini, in the Aegean Sea, around 1600 BC. This cataclysm, one of the largest volcanic events in recorded history, devastated the highly advanced Minoan civilization, which was centered on the nearby island of Crete. The eruption triggered colossal tsunamis that would have inundated coastal cities across the Mediterranean, and the resulting volcanic ash cloud could have caused crop failures and climatic changes, leading to the civilization's collapse. The similarities are striking. A powerful, sophisticated maritime culture suddenly destroyed by a natural disaster. Could Plato's account, written over a millennium later, be a distorted, embellished memory of this very real Bronze Age catastrophe? Underwater explorations around Santorini and Crete continue to search for definitive proof, revealing submerged Minoan structures and artifacts that hint at the scale of the destruction. Geological analysis confirms the timeline and impact of the Thera eruption, providing a solid scientific foundation for a theory that transforms a legendary myth into a plausible historical tragedy. Other proposed locations, such as the submerged Bimini Road in the Bahamas or various sites in the Atlantic Ocean, have been investigated, but have largely been dismissed by mainstream archaeology as natural geological formations. The search for Atlantis, whether for a physical place or for the historical kernel of truth within the legend, continues to drive us to explore the hidden depths of our planet and our past. While Atlantis remains shrouded in legend, another underwater enigma in the Far East presents a more tangible, yet equally contentious, mystery. In the winter of 1987, a local dive tour operator named Kihachiro Aratake was scouting for new hammerhead shark viewing spots off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan's southernmost island. What he found defied all expectations. Submerged at a depth of 5 to 40 meters was a colossal stone structure, a monolithic formation stretching approximately 100 meters long and 60 meters wide, rising 25 meters from the seabed. The monument, now known as the Yonaguni Monument, features immense, seemingly carved terraces, flat parallel faces, sharp, precise 90-degree angles, and what appear to be twin pillars and a grand staircase. The sheer scale and geometric precision of the formation led Arataki and many others who followed to a startling conclusion. This could not be a natural formation. It had to be the work of human hands, a lost piece of an unknown ancient civilization that predates even the Great Pyramids of Egypt. The discovery immediately ignited a fierce debate within the scientific community, a controversy that rages to this day. On one side are those who argue that the monument is a man-made or terrace-formed structure. The most prominent proponent of this theory is Professor Masaki Kimura, a marine geologist from the University of the Ryukyus. After decades of diving and meticulously mapping the site, Kimura has identified numerous features he believes are unequivocally artificial. He points to what he interprets as a road, a retaining wall, drainage channels, and even formations resembling carved animals, like a giant turtle. He posits that the structure is the remnant of a city that was submerged by a massive seismic event, perhaps a tsunami, thousands of years ago. Kimura estimates the monument could be at least 5,000 years old, potentially dating it back to a time when the sea level was lower and the site was above water. If his theory is correct, it would force a radical rewriting of East Asian history, suggesting the existence of a sophisticated stone-working civilization in the region far earlier than previously thought. However, many geologists and archaeologists remain deeply skeptical. They contend that the Yonaguni Monument is an entirely natural phenomenon, a product of the region's unique geology and powerful ocean currents. The sandstone from which the monument is composed naturally fractures along parallel bedding planes, which can create the appearance of large flat terraces and sharp straight edges when eroded. Critics, such as geologist Robert Schoch of Boston University, argue that the right angles and flat surfaces are consistent with natural sedimentary processes and tectonic activity. They point out that similar formations can be found on land in the region. The apparent carvings and roads, they argue, are simply the result of pareidolia, the human tendency to perceive meaningful patterns in random stimuli. The debate encapsulates a fundamental challenge in underwater archaeology, distinguishing the hand of man from the hand of nature. Without definitive evidence, such as unambiguous tool marks or associated artifacts directly linked to the structure, the Yonaguni Monument remains a captivating puzzle. Is it a testament to a forgotten civilization of ancient stone masons, or a magnificent yet entirely natural geological spectacle sculpted by the relentless power of the ocean? From the speculative shores of Japan, our journey takes us to the Mediterranean, to a story not of myth, but of astonishing rediscovery. For centuries, the ancient city of Thonis Heracleion was known only from classical texts and rare inscriptions. It was mentioned by Herodotus as a great and wealthy port, the gateway to Egypt for all Greek ships before the founding of Alexandria. It was the site where the legendary Helen of Troy and her lover Paris were said to have sought refuge, and where Heracles himself first set foot in Egypt, giving the city its Greek name, Heracleion. But for over 1,200 years, its exact location was lost, seemingly vanished from the face of the earth, a ghost city relegated to the footnotes of history. Then in the year 2000, after years of painstaking geophysical surveys, French underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio and his team from the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology, IEASM, made a discovery that stunned the world. Lying beneath the silt and sand of Abukir Bay, just a few kilometers off the coast of modern-day Alexandria, they found it, the sunken remains of Thonis Heracleion. What Gaudio and his team uncovered was not a ruin, but an entire city, miraculously preserved in a watery grave. The discoveries have been nothing short of spectacular. They have brought to light the remains of the city's grand temple to Amun-Gereb, the supreme god of the Egyptians, where the pharaohs of the late period came to receive their divine power. From the murky depths, colossal statues of red granite, some over 5 meters tall, have been raised, depicting pharaohs, queens, and the god Hapi, the personification of the Nile's fertility. Divers have navigated through the sunken harbor, mapping out a network of canals and channels that once bustled with trade. They have found the wrecks of over 70 ancient ships, the largest naval graveyard from the ancient world ever discovered, offering unprecedented insight into ancient shipbuilding and maritime commerce. Alongside these monumental finds are thousands of smaller artifacts that paint a vivid picture of daily life. Gold coins, intricate jewelry, ceramic vessels, and ceremonial lead weights. These treasures, shielded from the ravages of time by their protective blanket of sediment, have rewritten our understanding of the city's role in the ancient world and the dynamic interplay between Egyptian and Greek cultures. Unlike the sudden cataclysmic end proposed for Atlantis, the demise of Thonis Heracleion was a slow, creeping process spanning centuries. The city was built on the unstable silt and clay of the Nile Delta, a geological foundation vulnerable to subsidence. A combination of factors, a gradual rise in sea level, the immense weight of its large buildings, and soil liquefaction triggered by earthquakes, led to its gradual submersion. The process likely began around the 2nd century BC and culminated in its final abandonment around the 8th century AD, when the last of its inhabitants fled the encroaching waters. The slow sinking of the city is what allowed for its incredible state of preservation. Rather than being violently destroyed, its buildings and artifacts were gently enveloped by the sediment of the bay, creating a time capsule of ancient Egyptian life at the height of its interaction with the Hellenic world. The ongoing excavation of Thonis Heracleion is a testament to the power of modern underwater archaeology to reclaim entire chapters of human history that were thought to be lost forever, proving that sometimes the most astonishing treasures are not those of legend, but those waiting to be found just beneath the waves. The submerged worlds of Yonaguni and Heracleion are not isolated cases. Across the globe, the ocean floor is littered with the ghosts of cities and settlements that once thrived on land. In the Gulf of Cambay, off the coast of India, sonar scans in 2001 revealed what appeared to be vast geometric structures at a depth of 40 meters. Subsequent dredging brought up artifacts, including pottery, beads, and pieces of wood that were carbon dated to as far back as 7500 BC. Proponents link these findings to the legendary city of Dwarka, the fabled kingdom of Lord Krishna, which Hindu texts describe as having been submerged by the sea. If the dates are verified, it would push back the timeline of Indian urban civilization by thousands of years, although the findings remain highly controversial and require much more investigation. Further west, off the coast of Naples, Italy, lie the underwater ruins of Baia. This was no ordinary Roman town. It was the lavish, hedonistic resort for Rome's elite, a playground for emperors like Nero and Cicero. Volcanic and seismic activity, known as Bradyseism, caused the land to slowly sink, preserving opulent villas, intricate mosaic floors, and marble statues in a submerged archaeological park, a decadent ghost of Roman imperial excess. In the waters of the southern Peloponnese in Greece, divers can explore the city of Pavlopetri, the oldest known submerged city in the world. Dating back to the Bronze Age, around 5,000 years ago, The site contains an almost complete town plan, with streets, buildings, courtyards, and even chamber tombs spread across 3 hectares. Its submersion, likely due to earthquakes, has preserved a unique snapshot of life during the era that gave rise to the great Mycenaean civilization. These discoveries, and many others, have been made possible by breathtaking advances in technology. Modern underwater archaeology is a high-tech discipline, employing side-scan sonar to map the seabed, sub-bottom profilers to see beneath the sediment, and remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, that can explore depths far beyond the reach of human divers. Sophisticated 3D photogrammetry allows archaeologists to create precise, interactive digital models of entire sunken cities without disturbing a single stone. These tools are opening up a new frontier of discovery, enabling us to systematically search vast areas of the ocean and peer back in time with unprecedented clarity. The continental shelves, which were exposed land during the last ice age when sea levels were over 100 meters lower, represent a massive, unexplored territory where countless prehistoric settlements may lie in wait. From the enduring myth of Atlantis to the tangible, breathtaking reality of Thonis Heracleion, from the contentious monolith of Yonaguni to the preserved streets of Pavlopetri, the evidence is overwhelming. Our oceans are a vast museum, a repository of lost worlds and forgotten histories. These submerged sites challenge our timelines of civilization and offer intimate glimpses into the lives of our ancestors, preserved by the very waters that consumed them. Ongoing research, fueled by new technologies and an unyielding spirit of exploration, promises to unveil even more secrets from the deep in the years to come. The line between myth and history continues to blur as we pull back the curtain of water and time. As we continue to chart these sunken landscapes, we are not just finding lost cities, we are rediscovering lost parts of our own human story. Do you think these lost civilizations really existed? Or are some merely legends that have grown over time? What other mysteries do you believe are waiting to be discovered beneath the waves? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.